Making another Dragon Ball essay. Don't worry, more animatics will come. I just want to write about some series I love every once in a while. For as great as Dragon Ball is, the final arc is a messy success overall. With a fresh beginning with Gohan's school life and the brief return of Goku, leading to a rematch with Vegeta, this arc started off very strong. But somewhere midway through, Toriyama decided to write Trunks and Gotenks will train and fuse to defeat Buu, while Gohan is missing training in secret in the sacred world of the Kais. The obvious answer is to pay off the build-up, but in the end, when push came to shove, Toriyama didn't think Gohan was a good fit as the protagonist, so he brought back Goku and Vegeta, two dead guys to finish the job. This always irked me, since Goku believed in preparing and guiding the next generation to protect the Earth, since the problems of the living should be solved by the living. But I guess Toriyama couldn't think of an interesting way to finish the story, so he brought back Goku. So I've been thinking, what if Toriyama stuck to his guns and finished the Buu Saga with Gohan? I'm not going to write a what if video, there's probably some out there. I just want to talk about the impact such a change would make on the series in a production and fan view sense. First, how would this be played out? This theoretical timeline will split in November of 1994, specifically during chapter 409, Deep Troubles, Gohan's Counterattack. Before this, Goku already entrusted the fate of the Earth to Goten and Trunks and said goodbye to his friends and family. Later, he met up with Gohan in the sacred worlds of the Kai. He waved him off after Elders Kai's training for the toughest battle in his life, since the next time they'll meet is when Gohan passes to the other world. Gohan, the lone Saiyan standing with Kibito with one request to ask.
Hey, Kibito?
Yes?
I need your help. I want to change clothes, but I don't have exactly what I want. My father is the greatest fighter ever, and I want to fight in the same clothing as him.
Of course. You're quite respectful. Now explain to me exactly what the outfit looked like. What color was it?
How about the one he was just wearing? That's the one. Thanks, Kibito.
Anything for a savior. We anticipate great things to come from you, Gohan. Please don't leave us and the world disappointed.
No way. I'm not gonna start disappointing people now.
Kibito accepts the request from the world's and universe savior. Gohan stands alone, prepared to confront Super Buu. This right here would have been a perfect start for something special. It would just hit a lot harder if anything from before mattered in the final fight. Since I feel like it's currently somewhat disconnected having Goku and Vegeta return to finish it off when they already said goodbye to their loved ones and accepted their fate. And with all previous safety nets removed, Gohan had the chance to rise to the occasion, and I think there were enough there to tell a compelling final fight. Gohan, Gotenks, Piccolo, Tien, and Satan were all there. Frankly, you can just remake the current ending just by saying Tien can do the Spirit Bomb. Another thing is to have Gohan's cockiness be questioned by Piccolo by comparing it to how that attitude was the cause of his father's death. And if there's a creative way to write a reason for Gotenks to be unfused and still effectively help would be good, since they kind of lose their individuality because of Gotenks. If Gohan makes a sacrifice play to save the universe, it would be nice to see Piccolo catch him before he falls into the abyss. In the end, the world would be safe once again, with Gohan, Goten, and Trunks being Earth's protectors. Oh wait, I feel like it was really nice that everyone on Earth got to participate, especially since it let everyone celebrate right after Buu is defeated. It would be nice to see Gohan embrace Videl while everyone is happy together on the lookout, while the Earth is finally safe once again.
Brother, since this is all over, can we play Mario 64?
Why not? Goten, we already returned the baby penguin. What are you doing with... Vegeta could get revived and humbled, since I know Toriyama liked his happy endings. There would be some form of End of Z where all the characters are older, where Gohan comes to Bulma's party with a little pan in his arms, in a more balanced place than just a scholar, but also the protector of Earth. But like I said, I'm not writing a what if, just wanted to set the ground floor for when I talk about how the Dragon Ball IP would differ from the one we have now. But what would be lost? Even though this would probably make Gohan's stocks go through the roof, there would be a lot more Gohan fans if Dragon Ball Z ended with Gohan, but there are things you'll lose in this hypothetical timeline. The obvious ones are Goku and Vegeta being alive and seeing their first ever manga team up. It's funny to think that the first notable time they worked together was in the Metal Cooler movie. Nowadays they're like best buds with each other. Goku's Super Saiyan 3 would only have been seen twice in the series, put a pin in that. Kid Buu, Spirit Bomb, Vegeta's You're the Best speech and thumbs up, Satan's message to the Earth, and a nice filler episode where the whole crew celebrated at Bulma's place where Goku missed most of it because he was helping an animal. It was the episode where the picture of Piccolo is relaxing and Gohan and Videl are dancing came from. Shit, Vegito Nerve Potara fusion wouldn't have needed to be introduced. Imagine a world where people never argued which is better, Vegito or Gogeta. But on that note, the heavens would still have been shaken, and the angel burn in hell would still rise. Okay. Fusion Reborn was released a few months after the chapter in which Gohan arrived on Earth, but between the 4 months gap of Gohan's arrival and the movie's release, Toriyama created Vegito in response to Gogeta being used in Fusion Reborn, so I assume the movie was already in production at the time. It's not a part of the manga, but it would surprisingly fit well into a world where Gohan defeated Buu. And it would also give the audience one last team up between Goku and Vegeta. Just imagine if the last time we saw these characters was in this movie. Goku fights for real as a Super Saiyan 3 for the first time against Janemba. Vegeta's pride breaks down in tears in front of Goku, agreeing to work with him to defeat an overwhelming foe. The last 2 full-blooded Saiyans fuse into a warrior with near infinite power just to swiftly deal with Janemba. And when everything is over, the 2 warriors thanks each other before parting ways, back to where they belong. Like, we all know it's not canon, but that's one hell of a way to end their story with a unique enemy for them to unite against. As a lifelong Team Gogeta fan, I approve this ending. On to note on what would happen after the series, I have some guesses to put in the ring. Toei was the one who wanted to continue Dragon Ball, and Toriyama allowed it. They always tried to follow up what was happening in the manga. GT's premise had the desire to some extent to go back to the original Dragon Ball series tone, so they could do a series set between an early Dragon Ball time skip, or one focused on Gohan and Pan's misadventures. If it's the latter, Gohan will probably be a reluctant warrior who will always step up, and they would probably have another transformation at some point, since this is Dragon Ball. Gohan, Gotenks, and Trunks would all be adults in this GT era of time, so a new kind of Super Saiyan team would come out of it. Toriyama would still back away from Dragon Ball. He would probably do mostly the same things, except for Neko Majin having to be altered for a post-Gohan world. They'll probably bring Goku back for a day for a special like Yo Son Goku and his friends return. And then we get to Super. They'll either backpedal and revive Goku or continue it with Gohan. Toei originally was the one who started Battle of Gods, and later Toriyama joined to give input. Beerus was originally a bulky, menacing lizard god before Toriyama made him look like one of his sleepy cats. So how Super turns out in this timeline would really depend on whether Toei or Toriyama would revive Goku for the main character role. But at least Gohan would probably still play a major role, and maybe not regress as a character every second arc. Imagine a Super with Gohan and Vegeta, and maybe Trunks and Goten? They wouldn't be able to dumb down Goku in this version, so they'll probably play up how relaxed Gohan is with training. Viewers can disrespect his dad and Piccolo to get a reaction from him, just some ideas and assumptions. But in that period before Super, how would our perspective change? If Gohan did the smackdown and actually defeated Buu, would people still say he peaked during the Cell arc, or would people argue over which Gohan's ending is better? Was it Gohan's hidden power being pushed to its limits and getting his dad's support that caused this fight with Cell to be so popular? I would admit that people would still criticize Gohan getting another power-up, especially one from sitting still with Elder Kai. But it wasn't like Goku or Gohan didn't get random power boost before, like with the Ultra Divine Water or Zenkai boost. And if it was well executed enough by the power-up not solely being the reason why they defeated Buu, it just has to be narratively satisfying. Gohan's Smackdown might have been legendary if he had one, and fans would probably praise the Mystic State more than they do now. And Gotenks, since I assume he would have played a bigger role in this hypothetical timeline. Currently, Gohan, Trunks, and Goten haven't gotten a proper time to shine alone. Kind of. I could say this for most, if not all, side characters in this series, since there were never enough enemies or time for everyone to get a win. But then pacing would suffer, a topic for another time. I wonder what the box art for the games would be. Would the box art have Gohan front and center, or back to back with Goku? Any fan continuations will also be in a post-Gohan world, so fans would be writing more Gohan-focused continuations. There are probably more things to say, I just can't think of anything else. So if you have an idea, let me know in the comments. In the end, this is all just theoretical, with the Buu Saga being the most divisive part of Z, for various factors. My biggest issue with the Buu Saga is that Gohan and Gotenks are built up just to be sidelined by Goku and Vegeta, two characters who were willing to pass on. But it couldn't have been easy writing this. It's easy to forget, but Toriyama made a chapter every week. And he was an expert in making every chapter feel impactful and interesting in some way. So I can't blame him for losing faith in a character he had troubles writing for, and for going back to reliable ones. He did a fine job for what he had. So thank you, Toriyama, for more than just Dragon Ball. It's nice that we got to see Goku and Gohan both grow up in front of us. The legacy of Goku lives on in the series and in you. So tackle life with as much energy as Goku, and I'll try to do the same. I hope the 180 of you guys enjoyed my thoughts. Like and follow my socials, where I mostly just post my art. Toodles! Oh wait, I forgot to mention Wrath of the Dragon, since that would be different. I don't know, Goku is not there anymore.